got worse the further he went.
And Mike, my point about Harry Gant and Jeff Gordon was Jeff Gordon's a 4-time champion with 82 wins. You don't get there by running second or finishing second.
Understand.
And that was kind of what my point was. I don't want Harry to get mad at me.
No.
He's a buddy of mine.
No disrespect intended. Not at all. So we move to knockout qualifying, and Dave Blaney will be the first. There are 11 drivers for the 8 positions. Blaney's best start here, 10th in the fall of 2003.
He was the fastest of those 11 guys in practice, and of course Dave Blaney, as well as his team Michael McDowell, missed the show at Richmond last weekend.
27th for Blaney with a 27.75,
and unless these guys reel off a lap that they just really feel good about, they definitely won't run that second lap. Got to go down swinging.
I think somebody somewhere in the 60s, and I'd turn that car back in the garage and maybe not run that second lap. In the 70s, I agree, Larry. You probably got to take another swing at it.
Borderline.
Yep. Mike Bliss had a bit of a rough ride in the James Finch 09. 28.36 was the quickest of his laps. And David Gilliland.
And you know, we said something in the 27.70s would feel pretty good about that. And that's where Blaney is at a 75. So that's your target, boys.
Reed Sorensen for Braun Racing.
He was just right there on the fence as far as our 11 go or go home cars.
Yikes, got in too high.
Close. 4 trips to Darlington for Sorensen in a Cup car. 2 starts of 16th and a best finish of 11th. Now the green line is to lock into the race. So far nobody's been sent home.
He's going to beat Mike Bliss on this lap. That's going to be about it. He'll have to run that second lap. Right now he's
27.94. He's 1/100th, or 7 thousandths if you will, behind Gilliland. So he needs a pickup here. The time to lock in, 27.90, gets you in the race for sure.
This is the most difficult. People just have no idea how difficult this is.
Round he goes.
Hang on to her, buddy. Gas it, gas it, gas it. Lock it, got it.
Now, Sorensen is not out. He is among the go-or-go homers. He's in the bottom 3, Gilliland, Sorensen, and Bliss. This lap will lock David Stremme in.
I would say, other than a road course, this has to be the most tedious qualifying on these go or go home guys.
It's so nerve-wracking, Larry, because when you go out, not only are you fighting all the elements, but the pressure of trying to run a fast enough lap to get your car in the race. The driver is hurt.
Reed Sorensen spins, but he still might make the show. Speed's coverage of Sprint Cup qualifying at Darlington, presented by Subway Restaurants. So many $5 footlong subs to choose from. Enjoy amazing value at Subway all day, every day. And brought to you by New Finish Kling Instant Detailer, the shine that sticks. We're in knockout qualifying. There goes Casey Mears. Dave Blaney and David Stremme are locked in. The bottom 3 are David Gilliland, Reed Sorensen, and Mike Bliss. Mears on this first lap in this backup car, 28.27, is going to join them in the bottom 3 unless he can pick it up.
Well, maybe if he gets, you know, the feel of this car and it feels good to him, he can pick up a little bit on this second lap.
The green line will lock him in. That's David Gilliland at a 27.93. And he betters Mike Bliss, but David Gilliland locks into the race tomorrow night. And now the bottom 3 become Sorensen, Mears, and Bliss.
The first 2 laps Casey's turned in this car after getting involved in an accident in practice earlier.
He spun off turn number 2 and nosed the primary car in hard on the inside retaining wall.
And just think of the pressure he's under. Right. Underfunded team for the most part. They wrecked their car in practice. He's got to get a car that he hadn't made a lap in. That's just, you don't realize what that does to a guy's psyche when he goes out there like that.
No pressure there. Jamie Mack looks like it's going to win the pole. Michael McDowell for Prism Motorsports was quick enough in practice that he should easily lock in ahead of Sorensen, who ran a 27.94.
Yeah, just if he doesn't make a mistake here, you know, that's the pressure that he's under. Got a car fast enough, we know that. Just don't mess up.
Flirting right there with being the fastest go-or-go-homer, which right now is Blaney in 27th, his teammate.
And that's two cars that missed the show at Richmond. I would hope the crew chief of this car is standing there right now saying, you're good, you're in, no more.
McDowell is fastest for the go-or-go-home crowd, 27.63.
There he goes, right up against
leaving
the
him
wall.
out there.
Just don't think I'd dig this.
That's enough.
I'm going to go to those go-or-go-homers and get a radio from every one of them and bring them to the booth.
Great lap for McDowell. He is 18th overall and fastest of those who must qualify on time. The bottom three remains Reed Sorensen, Casey Mears, and Mike Bliss in that order.
Now this is the second time through there.
This just doesn't, I mean, that is so close to wrecking the car. For what?
Because he doesn't know. He doesn't know if he's in until they tell him.
I think the crew chief and all of them stand on top of the truck showing them, look what we just ran. Look, look at that.
Oh, Michael, that's good. That's good.
Now,
by the way,
Casey Mears, Joe Nemechek crashed his primary car off turn 4 and nosed it in the inside wall. Tore it up pretty good. He did get a couple of laps in this backup car. And let's see if Joe can beat Reed Sorensen's 27.94 and lock himself in. Sorensen is the green line, and Joe needs to go.
And what got Joe in trouble, we interviewed him. It was a practice qualifying run, and he said the car just had no grip with those brand new tires that he had put on there. Just didn't stick.
He's going to have to pick it up. Going to have to pick up some more.
He won't beat Sorensen.
See if he can do anything on his second lap.
39th for Joe, 28.11. He needs a 10th.
I'd be willing to bet
tenths.
Joe will probably should pick up on his second lap because he's getting more laps in this race car now. He's still got to get on over to the left a little bit.
Not going to do it, Larry. Just don't see it happening now.
No. Doesn't look like he's going to change positions whatsoever.
So Joe finishes up 39th. That means that Reed Sorensen, despite his spin on the second lap of qualifying, Reed will race tomorrow night. Reed locks into the show. And now Joe Nemechek is the fastest of the three drivers outside looking in. Nemechek, Casey Mears, and Mike Bliss with 3 cars to go. It's knockout time.
I think Yeley's got a fair shot at getting this thing in.
This is the Whitney Motorsports Dodge, which was driven to this point in the season by Truck Series veteran Terry Cook. Cook departed the team this week as driver and general manager. And the veteran USAC and Cup driver J.J. Yeley, who has 3 starts here. His last Cup start came in August 08 at Pocono. Yeley's going to try to put this car on the show.
As far as the go-or-go-homers, he was just right there. He was 8th quickest.
Like that. Got that corner's good.
He drove it in there and it stuck.
Yep.
It stuck.
Good looking lap. Don't try that in turn 3.
This corner's good. Ease it out, ease out. Don't get too low right here. Let it run up the hill. Back in the gas.
Boys, we're doing it.
I believe he's going to be okay.
Yes,
He's going to be
sir.
just fine on this lap, I believe.
Yep. Got this car in the race.
Yes, sir.
Good job.
Good lap.
J.J. Yeley. 30th. J.J. will race tomorrow night with a 27.85, and that means that Mike Bliss and the James Finch team will head home.
The crew chief got to the button just right there.
I like
just
that.
right.
Yeah. That car looked good getting around there. It's a nice lap.
And good for JJ.
Yeah.
Yes.
Missed having him out here.
Yep. 2 cars to go with Joe Nemechek and Casey Mears, the bottom 2. The final 2 qualifiers will be Max Pappas and Todd Bodine.
And you know what's good for JJ? You know, he was on top of the world driving for Joe Gibbs.
Yep.
He got knocked down. You don't come back at the top. You got to start down at the bottom and work your way back. This is a good step toward working your way back.
And this is a good step for JJ because this car had trouble qualifying in the previous races this year. Trouble
We are
for
in.
the veteran. Well, they haven't made that many races this season with the 46.
They did make Richmond last week, but you're right, only 2 or 3 starts.
Todd Bodine climbs into the Gunselman car. Still carrying the colors of Little Joe Falk's Auto Sales from Richmond. So Todd, who has 15 Cup starts here and is currently second in the Camping World Truck Series, needs to beat Joe Nemechek's 28-11. So one of these Toyotas will race and the other heads home.
Todd's a good qualifier, I can tell you that.
Got through 1 and 2 awfully good if he just doesn't get greedy in 3 and 4.
He pedaled it pretty big time off of a 2, but so far carrying enough speed.
And the track's the best it's been all day.
Oh yeah, the conditions couldn't be better. Just come on, stay in it, stay in it. He's
going to be in good shape. Looks like this team will qualify for 2 races in a row.
37th for Todd Bodine. He is in.
Stop.
Now we're talking.
That's the way you do it.